In today's news, local women speak up against lack of respect shown to women in observance of Heroes and Foreparents Day. Every day is a fight for women, says the Honorable Flax Charles. Former Education Minister and local attorney Myron Walwyn says a move towards independence should not be solely about getting rid of the British. Benito Wheatley delivers remarks at the 77th session of the UN General Assembly on special political and decolonization methods. National Parks Trust Director addresses the International Trust Organization at Dendee in Scotland. Now, former Education Minister and local attorney encourages residents to lend a voice on issues affecting the country. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
You value traditions.
Today,
You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, October 18th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Tuesday to one and all. Thank you so much for joining us. I trust that each of you had an amazing weekend. Meet the recently crowned Miss Universe British Virgin Islands 2022-2023, Leah Claxton. Claxton was crowned at a coronation over the weekend and will represent the territory of the Virgin Islands at the Miss Universe International Pageant. She's 18 years old, stands at 6 foot, and enjoys playing piano, modeling, and track and field. Leah says she would like to one day travel the world comfortably. Congratulations to Miss Claxton on her coronation, and we wish her the very best. Special Envoy to the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Mr. Benito Wheatley, delivered remarks at the 77th session of the UN General Assembly on special political and decolonization methods. Take a listen.
You will recall the political crisis in the British Virgin Islands earlier this year that was brought to the attention of the C24 at the UN Pacific Regional Seminar on Decolonization in St. Lucia from 11th to 12th May. Coming out of this crisis, the United Kingdom government and BVI government of national unity agreed a framework for the territorial government to implement reforms under continued democratic governance aimed at strengthening the institutions and systems of government and transforming the handling of the government's business. Substantial progress has been made over the course of the last 3 months through the hard work and dedication of all parties concerned. Some deadlines have slipped as government has ramped up its operations and undertaken public consultations, but reform is going in the right direction. Progress has been assessed on a monthly and quarterly basis. The first quarterly progress report was published yesterday by the territory's governor, His Excellency Mr. John J. Rankin, CMG, who serves as the UK's representative in the islands. The report acknowledged the progress made, but highlighted some areas of concern. Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Nathaniel D. Wheatley, and his ministerial team have since discussed with the governor the key issues raised in his report. After a thorough discussion, Premier Wheatley is of the view that several of the concerns are a genuine misunderstanding of the situation in some areas. Unfortunately, there was not an opportunity to thoroughly review and discuss the report before its publication, which would have clarified and cleared up some of the misunderstandings. For example, there appears to have been a misunderstanding about tender waivers. The system of procurement now in place under the Territories Procurement Act requires procurement to be done either through open tendering, restricted tendering, or single source procurement.
Mr. Wheatley, in his address, spoke about the progress that has been made in regards to sustainable development over the few years within the country.
The circumstances in which each can be done is clearly defined in the law and is supposed to improve competitive bidding, value for money, and transparency. As a territory that is fully self-funded, we believe this is extremely important. The government is currently transitioning previously signed rolling contracts for various services such as school transportation into the new system. In the meantime, however, we cannot simply stop the transportation arrangements in place to transport students back and forth to school. A transition period is necessary to integrate previously signed rolling contracts into the new system, as I mentioned earlier. This is but one of the clarifications, among others, that was made by Premier Wheatley and his ministerial team in discussions with the governor. What is important is that reform is going in the right direction, and the territorial government is committed to implementing the agreed framework of reforms. The Premier and his delegation will further engage the UK government on the progress of reform when they travel to London early next month to attend ministerial talks between UK ministers and British Overseas Territories political leaders. Among other things, the BVI delegation will encourage the UK government to reconsider their current position on maintaining an order in council in reserve that allows the governor to impose direct rule over the islands at his discretion. This form of pressure can weaken democratic governance and is an obstacle to building a new, genuine, modern partnership between the UK and BVI that is based on trust and supports the aspirations of the people of the territory. There should also be sensitivity about the feelings of the Commonwealth Caribbean on this issue in terms of the colonial past. A new modern partnership can be established if both sides act in good faith. As I close, I reiterate the BVI's previous request for a C-24 visiting mission to the territory. We are grateful to the committee and members more generally, member states more generally, for their continued interest in the question of the British Virgin Islands as one of the 17 remaining non-self-governing territories that has yet to attain a full measure of self-government. I also want to thank CARICOM and OECS for their commitment to supporting the BVI, especially with technical assistance for reform.
Continuing on the local scene, while many would have seen the flyer and of course, echoed their dismay, only 2 women, local women across the Virgin Islands, have publicly made their grievances heard as it pertains to what they call a lack of respect for women and their contributions in the Virgin Islands. While the territory observed Heroes and Foreparents Day, a flyer was disseminated from the Department of Information and Public Relations, only showing men on the flyer. Talk show host of Cut Deep, Miss Cindy Roseanne, took to Facebook to share her sentiments. Roseanne wrote, and I quote, "On the first Heroes and Forefathers Day, we begged for women to be recognized. The name was then changed to Heroes and Foreparents Day. Here we are, 2 celebrations later, still begging that our own women be recognized. Do we get it or not, or do we only respond to pressure? Who has time for the continued disrespect?" Now, many commented under Roseanne's post agreeing with the sentiments. Also speaking on the matter, at-large representative, the Honorable Shireen Flax Charles shared via social media her dismay with what she calls the blatant disregard for women and their contributions throughout the Virgin Islands. Flax Charles wrote, and I quote, "I suppose whoever did the flyer couldn't think of one BVI woman that have done anything significant. It is insulting and shameful. Every day it is a fight for women and the sister islands." Flax added, and I quote, "I refuse to use this flyer on anything I post today. I respect and love the men and their contributions, but this is a blatant exclusion of women. There's absolutely no excuse for this." Charles shared on her social media page. Now, viewers, since the sentiments have been shared, many have been wondering if this beckons the questions are whether contributions of women across the Virgin Islands are deliberately being excluded, or are the contributions simply going unnoticed. Moving right along, Director of the National Parks Trust of the Virgin Islands, Dr. Cassandra T. Lee O'Neill, is currently in the United Kingdom attending a series of meetings on behalf of the National Parks Trust of the Virgin Islands. Dr. O'Neill delivered a keynote address entitled, and I quote, "Balancing Conservation of the BVI's Natural Resources with Business of Running an INTO member organization at the International Trust Organization, also known as INTO Annual Conference in Dundee, Scotland." Expanding on the theme for this year's Into Conference, Heritage Now, Relevance and Community, Dr. O'Neill introduced the attendees to the second oldest trust in the region and highlighted the cultural and heritage significance of the Virgin Islands National Parks and Protected Areas, its work, as well as conservation programs. She also shared the impacts of COVID-19 as well as the challenges faced to keep the organization's operations going during this very difficult time, and a timeline of the organization's achievements such as the first Arbor Day in commemoration of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, after which one of the legally declared national parks was named. The director also shared an overview of the National Parks Trust VI's newest climate change project being done in collaboration with Environment Systems of Wales. Now, viewers, during the meeting, Dr. O'Neill also, of course, shared on the community-led climate action, where she shared the impact of the 2017 floods and hurricanes Irma and Maria. Dr. O'Neill will also be conducting a seminar with members of the BVI London House Office and BVI Tourist Board, and presenting on the importance of the National Parks Trust to the economy and sustainability of the British Virgin Islands to invited guests on October 17th and 18th, respectively. Viewers, when 284 News returns, former Education Minister and local attorney says a move towards independence should not be solely about getting rid of the British. He also encourages residents to speak up on matters they see important. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's the best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Continuing on the local scene, former Education Minister and local attorney Myron V. Walwyn has lent his voice to the conversation of the possibility of the BVI moving towards independence. In a recent Facebook post, Walwyn said, and I quote, "A move towards independence should not be solely about getting rid of the British. It should be about nation building. It should be a celebration of our political and economic maturity to the extent that we demonstrate to the world that we can entirely handle our own affairs and that our people have confidence in their leadership to take them forward." The post came while the territory observed Heroes and Foreparents Day. Walwyn questioned why more is not being done to acknowledge the accomplishments of Virgin Islanders, stating, and I quote, "Today is Heroes and Foreparents Day. Why isn't there a program or event to uplift us and present national awards to our people who have made significant contributions to the development of our country across various sectors?" Walwyn comically questioned the significance of the day, stating, and I quote, "So I guess it's just another beach day. See you in King Garden Bay." Then questioned, and I quote, "Are we really serious about building a country, or the extent of our national aspiration is to simply get rid of the British?" Now, the former minister also weighed in on another sentiment and really encouraged persons within the community to speak up on issues affecting them. He said, sentiments affecting the present governance structures within the territory of the Virgin Islands, stating, and I quote, "There's absolutely no doubt that the governance structures of our country require strengthening. For a country to be successful, it also requires its citizens to be active participants on the journey. One way that we could display good citizenship is by standing up for injustice in our community when we see it." He addressed the responsibility citizens have in lending their voice to areas affecting the country, stating, and I quote, "If we see injustice and we say nothing, if we allow it to flourish unabated, then it is only a matter of time before it finds its way to your house. Do not wait," he said, "until it finds its way to you, a family member or friend, to speak up. Speak up when it finds its way to the doorsteps of your enemies or someone that you don't even know. Right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of who it happens to or who does it. You cannot expect people to rally with you when injustice reaches your house, when you closed the curtains at your window, when it was at your neighbor's house." Of course, that was the former Minister of Education and local attorney weighing in on a number of issues. Viewers, when 284 News returns, BVI-FA's Men's National League kicked off this weekend with plenty of goals scored, and the BVI women earns silver and gold medal in ECVA volleyball championships. We have the details of these stories and so much more when 284 News returns.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turned into 5. 5 months turned into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Yes, customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must stop cut front of people.
It's okay. I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power? Hello?
Wait, you're the lounge and you don't say you were sick? What happened to over in rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Now on to sports in the Virgin Islands. One Love United in their opening game of the BVI Football Association's Men's National League handed Old Madrid FC a 7-1 thrashing at the East End Longlook playing field. Dion Thompson netted the first goal of the new season for One Love in the 10th minute, but Kenmore Peters soon brought Old Madrid level, hitting the back of the net in the 34th minute. One Love was ahead again just before halftime when Zeron Samuel made it 2-1, and the second half was one-way traffic as One Love showed their intent to win the league this season. Julian Davidson made it 3-1 in the 48th minute, while Lavia collected a hat of tricks with goals in the 49th, 56th, and 67th minutes of the game. Corey Chin sealed the deal for One Love in the 89th minute, winning the game 7-1. Now on Sunday over the Virgin Gorder Recreation Ground, VG United and Rebels FC played out an entertaining 2-2 draw with all the goals coming in the first half. Jamal Prentice scored in the 5th and 19th minutes to put Rebels into the win, but Sheldon Harry in the 31st and Jaden Abrams direct from a free kick in the 41st put VG United back on party. Meanwhile, back on Tortola and the BVI's FA's soon-to-be national stadium venue at East End Longlook, defending champions Sugar Boys FC continued where they left off last season with a hard-fought late show to run out 2-0 winners against Islanders FC. Daryl Redhead netted both goals in the 88th and 92nd minutes to secure all 3 points. To round out the weekend, Panthers FC, missing last season Golden Boot winner Wayne Phillips with a long-term tendon problem, still had enough to overcome One Caribbean FC 2-1. Horace Cole netted the winner in the 88th minute after Prevol Anson had cancelled out Martino Rouser's 36th minute opener for One Caribbean. Now the first week of action concludes tomorrow, Wednesday, October 19th, when Wolves FC faces Lionheart FC at the East End venue with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff time. And some exciting news. The British Virgin Islands women's volleyball team earned a silver medal in the ECVA Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Championships after losing to St. Lucia in the final on Sunday night. Playing at the LB Scott Sports Auditorium in Pondfield, St. Martin, the BVI women's team, which came in the competition as the lowest ranked team, fell to St. Lucia in 3 straight sets, 17-25, 10-25, and 13-25. Competing for the first time in the tournament since 2014, the BVI finished second in Group B after winning 2 games and losing 1. Now in the quarterfinals, the BVI defeated Grenada in 3 straight sets, 25-23, 25-15, and 25-15 again. The win saw the local girls taking on the home team of St. Martin in the semifinals, which saw them defeat the home side 3 sets to 1, 25-15, 25-19, 17-25, and 25-23. The BVI's women team was welcomed home to a celebratory ceremony at the Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport on Monday, October 17th. Premier Dr. the Honorable Benito Wheatley congratulated the team and spoke about the continued excellence displayed by the women in the female-dominated sport.
I should say that y'all are doing a wonderful job because I see you out there in the gym and I see you guys walking out a lot. And one thing I can really appreciate about the sport of volleyball, I think it's been able to attract many more female athletes than a lot of the other sports. Okay, and I think certainly that deserves recognition, and I think certainly it deserves support, and it deserves a lot more focus, considering the fact, of course, that we want to make sure in sports we have gender equity, and obviously you're doing quite a good job of that in volleyball.
Education Minister the Honorable Shari B. De Castro spoke about the composition of the team and its incorporation of youth and senior players. She said it is evidence that the future of the sport is in good hands with the plans that the Virgin Islands Volleyball Association has in place.
Overall, let me just say it's amazing to see that you have a 15-year-old on your team, a 17-year-old on your team. So let me congratulate you because it tells me that you're thinking about succession planning. It tells me that you're looking at the ones coming up and you're seeing how you could involve them. I see the older ones are here as well, and just to see Miss Pickwin, she has represented us internationally during our festival round of applause. And of course, I saw you capture best blocker and best scorer, so give her a round of applause for that as well. But let me just end by saying, I pray and I hope that other sports can replicate what you're doing, because like I said, to see the younger age group and the older age group and the middle group just merged and really, seeing that teamwork and that excellence, it speaks to you thinking about the future. You're not just thinking about now, but you're thinking about how we can continue to grow and develop the sport. And as the Director of Youth Affairs and Sports said, we're really working in the schools and in the industrial league to see how we could truly make volleyball a great sport and the interest to continue to be there.
Head coach of the team, Stephen Payne, said all the pieces of the puzzle that was planned ahead of the tournament were well put together and resulted in the team finishing second. He said the focus will now be placed on building from the success of the tournament.
I want to thank you for working with me, putting up with my my not so pleasing comments sometimes, most of the time. As a matter of fact, I didn't really praise any of you until we actually left the territory, because we know we had a high expectation. There was a lot riding on our backs, I must say. Even before we left here, we would have all known that we were ranked 9th in the territory, having been away from the game so long since 2014. But we buckled down, we dug in, and only one team beat us. Only one team. And it was the ranked 1 team, the team that was ranked first in the tournament. We beat everybody else. So we don't have to cover our heads and hang in shame. We just have to walk high, be proud of our accomplishments, and just build on it.
Meanwhile, team captain Henrietta Alexander thanked the BVI public for their continued support throughout the tournament. She said the support helped to push the team through difficult moments within the competition. Congratulations to the women on their much-needed efforts and continued success within the sport of volleyball. Viewers, that's it for today's News Roundup. For 284 News, I'm Ron Grant. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach home.